Hi, Tyler here, and today we're going to walk through a solution that's a little bit more technically advanced, and you might need your developer to help support you with this solution. But let's imagine for a moment that you have an online business and you are selling items through your e-store, and occasionally your customers are abandoning their carts before they get to the checkout process. Now, if you have something like Shopify, there's an integration place where you're passing that abandoned cart information automatically to HubSpot. But let's say you're not using Shopify, you have your own homegrown system, and you want to be able to pass abandoned cart information into HubSpot and do it in a way that's scalable and relatively easy to implement. So let's walk through what that could look like. So here I have my email with some simple copy. And if you notice below, I have this module called Abandoned Cart Products. And we'll get into how to set that up in just a moment here. But this is just my basic email template. And this is where I'm going to store my products that from the cart that the customer abandoned. So on my contact record, I've created a property called Abandoned Cart JSON payload. And here I'm storing a large, what's called a large body of JSON. And the benefit of doing that is I can loop through this data and information in a email module to then later represent it in my abandoned cart email. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to understand what is happening here. Let me pull up another screen. This one makes it a little bit easier to see, but really all that you need to know is JSON stores things in these large arrays where we are able to loop through each of them and pull data from each element of the array. So for example, I have my first thing in my abandoned cart is my running shoes, and my second thing is sneakers, and my third thing is sports sandals. What's really awesome about using this method is there's not a limit to how many products I can throw into this JSON body. So right now I have 12 products, but it could be 3, it could be 20. So it really has a lot of flexibility in storing a large amount of data that you're going to use later on. So going back to my property editor, I've taken what was on that other tab and I've stored it into my property here on my contact record. And one thing to note is there's actually not a limit to how many characters you can throw into a single line text property. So I didn't actually count how many characters are in this, but it's a pretty sizable amount of data and had no problems with how it performs. So next we're going to walk through how to set up that module that you're going to add to your email. So now I'm in the design manager, and from here, to create my module, I went to File, New File. I've selected from the drop-down Module. I also selected, once you get into like the subsettings of going through the module, I selected Email because I'm going to use this module in an email. And I also selected Global because I want to be able to edit this in one place, and it applies any place where this module exists. One other quick thing to note is over here on the right-hand side, use module for programmable email. This does need to be checked for this to work. Okay, so up here at the top, I'm setting a variable called cart items, and this cart items is retrieving from my contact record and then my internal name for that property where I'm storing my JSON payload. And then I put this function at the end from JSON, and that's going to allow me to parse through that data as we loop through it. So the first thing in this module, I have my header row, which is the very top of this table where I'm going to display my abandoned cart items. And then I have my loop where I'm going to go through those items and display them. So for each item in my cart items variable, I'm going to display a new row of data, and I'm putting pieces of that data into my table. So for example, in my first column, I'm going to have an image of that product that's in the abandoned cart. I'm going to have In my second column, my brand, a description, the color and a size, and then finally on the last two columns, we're gonna have quantity and price. So if I do a quick preview here, like it doesn't show me anything. Well, that's because we haven't selected the contact that is that has the value for that property. So it actually can't bring anything in here because we haven't given it a contact to retrieve data from. So from my design manager, I'm going to go over to my email now. And I have my fake email going out to my fake customer, and I've dropped in my module. So just really quickly, you would click more. I have abandoned cart products, and I would just drag and drop it where I want this module to exist. Now to show you what this looks like, let's go to Actions Preview. And from this page, I can select a specific contact that I want to preview the email for. So I'm going to select the one where I've added in this JSON body. So I selected my contact, and now below you can see that I have my abandoned cart items with quantity, the price, a little description, color, and sizes. And you can see I have 12 rows of data here. So this would support more than 2 or 3 items. It has the flexibility to support however many items are in your abandoned cart. That pretty much wraps up this tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you'd like to see anything else related to this, just let me know. Also, I'll drop my design manager file. I'll include a link to that so you can copy that piece of code and repurpose it for your own use case. All right, thanks. Have a good one.